Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It's Saturday, so you already know it is time to get in on some low key. And as much as I didn't like that first episode, I am absolutely loving the second episode. But you already know we got to flip the script, and our man is feeling the exact opposite. What's good with you today, F.D.S.?
Ha, wait, hold up. Is that me? Yep, that is me. I'm hearing the stream on my end.
He's like, what? For once, you didn't mute it?
But yes, hey, old Phantom DC here. And I enjoyed the episode, but not as much as the first episode. So I'm pretty much like DJ in previous stream, where he was kind of with it, but not totally until like near the end of the stream. So maybe that'll happen with me. Maybe by the end of the stream, I'll love it just as him.
Oh, what's up, Christian Olis? I see you out there. Absolutely. It sounds like we have absolutely just flipped the script. Like I was just kind of on the fence last episode. You're on the fence this one. You love first episode. I love this one. Oh, what a perfect mix. And I think that'll make it good. I just liked how this one just started off right out of the gate. Like when they opened up with that lady saying, you're not dressed right. And then when she just gets ignored, like she just spews off, some of us really need this, you know. I was smiling right out of the gate.
Agatha of all people.
Right?
Like this, I believe it's freaking Agatha. As opposed to previous episode, everyone was saying left and right, oh, that's Peggy, that's Peggy. No, no, no.
Oh,
It's for this episode, it's freaking Agatha.
oh, that was Agatha like getting out. This is like her 1 day reprieve from being in that Mindscape jail. She's like, some of us really need this, you know. And I just right out of the gate, it had me smiling. I was loving it.
Wait, was it? I thought this was in the 80s.
What do you mean?
The whole first scene was like in the 80s. So she wasn't in the mine jail yet, was she?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, this was pre-mine jail. You're right. You're right. I was the way they went back, the way they skipped back and forth to the future. But you're right. That was in the 19. Was it? Yeah, that was in the 80s, I think. So yeah, absolutely. Because I was thinking it was 85 when they went to the store, but I think you're right. I think it was 80s when they went there too.
Nah, in the store was
Or no,
2050.
it was 2050
Yeah.
when they went to the store. Okay. That's what I got switched up. Man, yeah, trying to keep all these dates keeping going. It's going to be a mind freak by the end of it, I have a feeling. And how telling was that song being played, like, right when they walked into that tent and the first monologue saying, like, a great battle was about to commence and the prize was our princess? Will evil prevail, or are we holding out for a hero? Like, that was the perfect song for that.
And just hearing that song, immediately I think of Shrek 2 when the fairy godmother is singing. Instantly, every time I hear that song.
Oh, just talking about the different ages. That's awesome because it just takes me straight back to the 80s. I love that song when it first came out. It's awesome. Also, that commander, like, was that commander that was taken, was she actually a princess? The one that got converted and was turned on her own people? Do you think she might have actually been a princess? Is that why she said that? The prize is our princess?
Nah, I think it was just a coincidence. You're reaching. You're reaching.
I'm reaching on that. What do you think? Do you think maybe Ravenna is a princess and maybe that's the princess she's going after?
That I like. That I like. It could be possible.
Maybe she's love scorn and those two had a thing back in the day, and then Ravenna like broke it off and female Loki's like all
Oh my
hated,
god.
and
So
now she
that's
wants to get back to her. She's trying to break back to her lover because she needs to get back and love must prevail.
that I'm with because that will then go with that one scene where Morbius and Ravana was talking, and it's like, oh, this is some from another agent. Like, could that be
Maybe the other
separate?
agent is the agent of love, the agent of female Loki.
Yep.
That'd be amazing. Oh, love that.
Heard it here
Well,
first.
well, you heard it here first. Because we already saw in the last episode, we saw Mobius looking up to her, like all flirting with her, like, I'm looking up to you, you know, it feels right. I like this. So he's already kind of flirty with her. And then in this episode, he's like he's trying to get feeling vindication, like, I'm your favorite agent. You like me best, right? And she never really answers. So maybe like he's just a lovesick puppy and she's actually got a thing with Lady Loki on and off. What?
I love it.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Who was the evil being talked about, though? The one who took the commander, or do you think the TVA is the evil that they're talking about?
Yeah, the time keepers, they're the evil.
Time variant?
No, not the time variant, it's timekeepers. So like we even the multiverse and crap, quote unquote.
Oh, the actual timekeepers. So not their
Yeah,
agency, but actually them who's the evil ones.
yeah.
Hmm.
Whoever created the agency, like they're the true evil in this.
So would this mean the one killing agents is actually the hero?
Yep.
That was a fantastic cold open. That was dope. And it was pretty cool when it actually came back and to Miss Minutes trying to school Loki on the way things work here, and he could not seem less motivated. Like, is he really that bored? Which would be weird because it seems like he would want to know as much as possible about the place that he's looking to take over, or does he just think like it's a bunch of company mumbo jumbo being spewed out and he's not interested?
All part of the plan. Make him look less interested, but he is interested.
Because he has been paying attention, and I mean, he has been shocking people, like answering certain things right. They're like, "Oh, you have been listening." So is that's it? He's just kind of trying to double take it, misdirect, and make him think he's not interested, but really he's learning everything he can.
Yep.
I like that. Loki asks if Miss Minutes can hear him, and are you alive or recording? And she replies, sort of both. So was this like meeting already played out in the future, which is now also the past? Like, how does she make noise jumping around, but yet also able to jump back into the computer? Like, is this the same technology Mobius used with that stickman on the phone when he showed it to Kid Loki?
Exactly. Because again, this whole time bureau situation mixing with time, it's kind of like that Doctor Who episode Blink, where the doctor was like in the TV and giving them instructions, and then when they like commented on something, he instantly like responded to that comment as if he was like in the room. So since they pretty much know what's happening, how Loki's responding and moving, it's easier for him to like Mrs. Minute to like move around and such. I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So Mobius comes in saying it's time to gear up and giving Loki his own coat. And C20 went dark shortly after jumping into the 1985 timeline branch. And it looks like another Loki hit. So they just don't know which kind. So it's funny how Loki like says the lesser kind to be clear. But basically, so I mean, literally, is that Loki who's doing this? Is it just one Loki that was going around doing all this, or was it a bunch of different Lokis jumping around different timelines doing this? Because it sounds like they've killed quite a few Lokis already.
I know, right? Because they keep on saying that of all variants that keep spawning, it's with Loki. We saw like a whole bunch of them. We saw like what looked like a Hulk Loki.
Mm-hmm.
We saw like a Viking Loki. We saw like
Vader, Loki, all
Olympian,
sorts of shit.
Olympian, like not Olympian, Olympics one. Like there's a whole bunch of them. And it's interesting how it's always with Loki. Like this is keep on spawning with him, as opposed to like every other person who has like variants.
Yeah, that's crazy. And B-15 calls Loki a cosmic mistake. Do you agree with that? I mean, that seems kind of harsh.
Not wrong.
It's not wrong. Is that Loki setting up all the other Lokis to be killed off, like we were talking about last week? Is this a there can be only one type situation happening?
Nah, because if so, why wouldn't the other Lokis like try to like, or that one Loki try to like kill this Loki already? Like there's so many opportune moments.
We're going to talk about that later. We're not sure exactly what's happening with that. But how great was that when Loki like broke down the differences of the two different spells, and Mobius was being kind of a dick, talking about like how many different Lokis they killed. So Loki just kind of spit back like, "Oh, actually, you're wrong about this," and breaks it all down. Like that was a nice little fu. And yeah, I can play head games too. I was digging that.
Man loves to talk.
And it's obvious that Moby knows exactly what buttons to push on Loki. Like, is this because like this was all played out before?
I was questioning that too. Like how many times the scenario had to happen for them to like get a Loki to try to like defeat our woman Loki. You know, to the point that, and he has done research on him.
Right. But yeah, that's crazy. It's like I don't know. It's like all time is static, and he said you're this way in every timeline. That's the way it always has been. That's the way it has to be. basically, and it's like, so that just tells me like it's all on a loop and it's all been played out before, and that's what the timekeepers are doing, is just trying to keep the loop consistent, and every time somebody tries to veer off this loop, that's when they get clipped because they want to keep the loop clean.
Oh my gosh, it's giving me Westworld vibes, DJ.
When talking about reset charges, Loki sounds like a nice way. He says it sounds like a nice way of saying disintegrated everything in its vicinity. And Mobius says he's on it. So when they first nabbed Loki in the desert and set that reset charge, were those people that just happened to be there, did they get evaporated? And if so, how is that okay? Like, doesn't that just prove that the timekeepers are worse than the variants?
So they would have been evaporated, but then time would have reset. So it's not like they would have truly died.
What
Just
they would
that.
just went backward, like where would they be then? Where did they go?
Well, those who saw the Loki, they're dead. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those people that were up there, like, why are you here? Why have you come here? Like that whole little tribe, that little group's just gone because Loki landed in front of them.
yeah,
That's kind of ruthless. So I mean, yeah, how is that okay?
damn, it really isn't.
Why didn't B-15 think a Loki wouldn't be able to get the jump on C-20? Like
That
she's
I
not
don't
worried
get
about Loki.
either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Granted, she was the one that was like, possessed and like defeated her whole team. And like as I was watching that scene, I'm like, really not one person. They couldn't really get the jump on her. That's crazy.
Well, that one dude kind of did at the end, and then she went down, and then then he got by the hooded caper, which we're led to believe female Loki. We don't know. That might not even been her, but I mean, yeah, it had to be. But yeah, unless there's two of them out there. Why did Loki go into that like long drawn out stall tactic in the tent? Like one thing about Loki is like he usually doesn't lie. He can keep calling him this big liar. Like he usually just twists the truth, but it's usually not a flat out lie. But yeah, it's like what was he trying to accomplish with that long drawn out stall tactic in the tent?
We pretty much got it like within the end of the episode. Like he was kind of like stalling for Lady Lady Loki.
So you believe
He
that?
was right. He was right, but I guess they just didn't believe him. It's like the boy who cried wolf.
But I mean, we don't. I don't know. We don't know if he was right because if they'd have left earlier, maybe they wouldn't have died. But maybe they would have. We're not sure. That's interesting. But Mobius makes mention of Ravona's office getting better and better, and she informs him that he's not the only analyst working for her. And who do we think the other analyst is? Do we think it's somebody else?
What do you mean by the analyst?
Like basically, Mobius is an analyst, and like B-15 and C-20, those guys are hunters.
Mm-hmm.
So she says you're not the only analyst working for her. Do you think it's just somebody else? Basically, we touched last. We just kind of made mention last time we were talking about this that I think Mobius is a clone.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Like another Mobius variant out there, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm like, do we think like it's just other analysts from the office that are coming in doing this? Because I don't think she would be this close or let just any other analyst in like that. And I don't think they would all set down the cup in that exact certain vicinity like he does. I think that's one of his motions, one of his ticks. And that just leads me to believe that she has a whole crew of Mobiuses out there trying to working for her. Do you think, I mean, are we onto something with that?
Most definitely. I still think that.
I think all the agents basically are clones at this point.
Think they all are?
Yeah, like oh boy, last time was like, what's a fish? Like, how are you going to work here, know all this stuff, have a drawer full of infinity stones? I mean, Thanos worked half of his life to get a whole, 5 infinity stones. This cat's got a whole drawer full of them, but he doesn't know what a fish is. Are you kidding me? Oh, what's up? We got some people in the crew coming through. What's up? I see you out there. We got Peter Griffin stopping through. We got Celebrity Bikini out there, even living my Rhapsody. Welcome. Good to see you out there. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys all loving the Loki style going on? It is absolutely fantastic. Celebrity Bikini just watched it, loving it. Oh, man, I just went over the chat. I'm way behind. What's good? So yeah, you down with that? I mean, are you agree with that? You think that we got a whole agent full of clones, or what do you think's up with that?
Clones or just variants though? Because I don't think they're clones. I think they're more like variants.
No, Lokis are the variants. The variants are the ones that the hunters go out and chase. I think the people that work inside the TVA, like the dude that didn't know what a fish is, I think he's a clone. I think Mobius is a clone. I think all those cats are clones.
Or they could just go back in time, pluck someone out, and then just reset the time.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like we see that they're all different kinds of people. So, I mean, we see like Mobius. Why is he so infatuated with this Sea-Doo back in 1990? Like he just has this deep love for Sea-Doos. Has he ever even been on one? Or has he just read about it? Or was he someone that lived back in that timeline, used to crush it on Sea-Doos all the time, having like that was his life? Maybe he was a Sea-Doo champion. And then all of a sudden he found some kind of infinity stone, or he found some way to creep through time, some time portal, and he went through and they called him a variant, killed him, and then ended up making him a clone. The only thing I don't like about that is he seems to be like one of the most important ones and one of the first ones. And one of the first ones, it doesn't seem like would have been that late for this.
Because it's weird with the whole jet scene, the jet ski scene, where it's like he can't ride one and like go back in time, and how that would just disrupt the timeline if he does it. That just completely like throws me off. So he could be onto something then, that he's from that time. That's why he can't go back there.
That could be. Celebrity Bikini says they're not dead. It's a bomb. It's a resetter. It's not a bomb. It's a resetter. But I mean, they basically disintegrate everybody right there. And where would it reset the time to? I guess maybe before they got to the hill, so maybe they are alive. I'd like to know how that works out exactly. Just finished the last few minutes I had left. The second episode. Oh man, I like the second episode so much better than the first one. What about you, Celebrity Bikini? Which episode do you like better, first or second one? Oh, just watched it. Wouldn't treat me like this, Loki. I'm not convinced that this female is Loki. Yeah, I'm not sure that the female Loki is Loki either. What do you think about that?
You don't think that it is?
I'm not.
Are you one of the people who are like looking at the credits?
No, I saw that too. Her name's Sylvia or something.
Yeah, supposed to be like Enchantress, but I don't think so. I think Disney just did that and just kept plugging another boner thing and just like lead us off.
She's probably working for Old Man Loki. No, my thing is when she called him Loki, she snapped hard on him. Don't call me that.
Yeah, that's
really
weird.
A Loki. Why would she snap so hard if that's what she is?
When I first heard it, I was thinking of like, I guess she's trying to like take her like own fate and destiny to the point that don't call me Loki, like call me something else. That's how I kind of saw it, because they did touch on like on free will and stuff within this episode, and it's like it really doesn't exist thanks to those timekeepers.
Right. So, but you're still on board that she's 100% Loki?
Yeah, but she just doesn't want to be called Loki, because just calling herself Loki is like deemed through the timekeepers. So she's trying to like live her own life, her own freedom. So that's why she's like saying, "Don't call me Loki."
Right, my name's Amber now. Don't call me Loki. Oh man, if Mobius doesn't get to ride a jet ski by the end, we're all rioting. Absolutely, my man. They're gonna probably end this with him riding off into the sunset on a damn jet ski. Absolutely,
that's gonna be like the end credit scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's gonna be the extra. That's gonna be the extra. Mobius was stolen from some timeline. If he was stolen from 1990. I'll tell you that right now. If he was stolen from a timeline, it's just how did he get so popular, and is he that long? I mean, maybe he's not that big a deal, and maybe he hasn't been around that long. I mean, he's never met the timekeepers, so I mean, he's just in there playing a role like everybody else. So maybe he's not that big a deal in the TVA.
And that's interesting. Like he mentions that in this episode, he never has met them. So it's like, well, how do you know they truly exist then?
Exactly. You don't. You've never seen it. Peter Griffin says clones are AI. I think Mobius is one of the lizard people. So is that his clone, or is that actually him, just like undercover boss style, working amongst his people?
Trying to say it's like Bernard.
Feel it. Stolen people who lead completely unremarkable lives. That could be people who didn't disrupt the timeline if they got taken out of it. Could be. We haven't gotten any clones in the MCU. Yeah, I guess if you don't consider Agents of Shield canon, we haven't. But I mean, they did have LMDs in those, so
Really?
which are basically clones. Oh yeah, man. The last couple seasons, they were big on it. Absolutely, she was hot. I wonder where they sleep. That's the other thing. I'm wondering, like, are these clones, and do they even need to sleep? Like, they seem like they've been going and going and going. And there's one part in here where Loki's wiped out. Loki's a god. I mean, he would have a little more endurance than your average bear. I mean, we already saw him get the shit kicked out of him by the Hulk, and then 5 minutes later get the snot slapped out of him by B-20 or B-15 with that nightstick. So I mean, we know he's got some endurance, and yet Loki was out cold, sleeping on the table, and Mobius was still up, like, okay, let's go take a walk. So do they even sleep? I'm telling you, this man is a clone. It looks like all they do is work. Absolutely. And now again, that's what clone. A tie one was funnier. This one gave us a few answers, more questions. Really, I actually like this one. I like this one a lot better. I think Mobius is one of the timekeepers trying to break Kang's imprisonment. So he's trying to break Kang out? Or he's
That
trying
would
to get
be.
out of the imprisonment that Kang put him in.
If so, he could be like the inside man, because maybe Lady Loki's trying to do the same thing.
Mobius is a unique name. He's from our future or past, which isn't that the same thing in this show? Why would a clone not need to sleep? Because he's a special clone that doesn't sleep.
I'm pretty sure the clone troopers in Star Wars sleep.
I think everybody, yeah, they're just like humans. But yeah, maybe they took that. They have some kind of special thing that revives them. They don't need to sleep. Who knows? Or maybe they only need to sleep like an hour a night, and that's enough to replenish them. They go in some special like hydro booth, and it only takes an hour, and they're refreshed and ready to go. AI clones or human clone? Which one is that? Oh man, but yeah, Mobius makes mention of Ravona's office getting better. Like, who do you think? Who do you think the other analyst is working for that's giving her all these neat things, or is she going out giving herself, or are they just love tokens from Lady Loki?
Another Mobius, or like we were discussing earlier, Lady Loki who turned rogue.
Lady Loki was an agent, but she turned rogue on her. I think she's doing it all for love. This is all to get her attention because she wants her back. She's doing it all for love. Why working for her and not the TVA? Like, did she just let out that she's really the one running the show? She's like, you work for me, Mobius. So basically, wait a minute. I thought she worked for the time. You guys all work for the timekeepers. So was that a little slip up, or was that just chain of command?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a slip up, or just having us like overthink it. Kevin Feige.
So do you think there are really timekeepers, or is she the one running the show? Is she the top dog, like a Wizard of Oz situation?
Because when at the end of the episode, I try to look at her helmet, and I thought like hers would say like 1 or 00. See, like maybe she is the one who started everything, and she's like lying about the whole timekeepers, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. See, I think her number was like 25 or something, but I know it was like very higher, and it wasn't like a low number. But
What number was that?
I think her number was like 25 or something. I know it was
Right.
a higher number and not a lower number, which was weird. I thought like the lower number you go, like that would possibly have been like how long you've been there or
Oh, in
your
the elevator.
strength or intelligence or something. No, not the elevator, the helmet, like when like on B-15 or
Oh, okay.
B-20. I thought like that would have been like the indicator or something. But nope. But however it is, because it pretty much seemed like she is running the place since she was like, high up and like Morbius has to look up to see her and crap. But I don't even know if she even mentioned like did she even like see the timekeepers like at all. It's weird.
But if they are the timekeepers, celebrities, then why would Mobius make mention that he's never met them? Like, why would he go out of his way to say that?
Hmm.
She doesn't work for the timekeeper. She works for Kang, one and only. There ain't no timekeepers. It's just Kang up here running the show. It could be. A lot of people think so. I know that.
Could
But
be.
Mobius asks, "How come you get to keep all the trophies from my missions? You don't think I'd like to have that roller skate sprucing up my office? What roller skate is he talking about? Like, what roller skater did they erase?"
I knew that put a smile on your face.
You know I want to know too. I'm like, wait a minute, where are they getting roller skates from? Dude, inquiring minds want to know. And she said she gets to keep them because she approves the missions. I was like, wait, shouldn't she be assigning the missions as to the timekeeper's dictations? Like, why is she okaying missions and not assigning them?
Exactly. To the
So
point where it's like if the timekeepers think that you should like go back and like fix this, like you said, you should be assigning them. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I think she's letting a couple things slip up here that we're supposed to be noticing. That's what it seems like to me.
Or the timekeepers actually were a thing, but then someone probably killed them, or one of the three betrayed them, or something. Probably
Kang.
Kang, and then he got imprisoned, and now she's running things.
She's the love of Kang's life, and she's running. She's holding it down for her man. Mobius is a beat cop. Why would he meet the timekeepers?
Damn, the disrespect.
Micromanage. Hey, man, sometimes you got to meet the boss. Sometimes you need to meet the people who you're working for to keep doing a good job.
Even Stone Cold met Vince McMahon.
Right? But Ravona says this variant is insubordinate, stubborn, and unpredictable. She adds, sounds like someone else I know. And then Mobius says, I was thinking it sounds like someone I know. Are they talking about each other or someone else? Like, if each other, then that's an odd way of describing, like, what seems to be his boss.
Yeah, it could just be this Lady Loki. Now I'm even more thinking it's Lady Loki now. Because I think that at one point she was like one the TVA. She went rogue. Now that's why they're questioning to even like put like Loki back into the game to even like help them defeat her. Like, I don't know.
Or she just knows she'll be one step ahead, so she's not worried about sending all these people after her.
Mm-hmm.
Mobius doesn't seem to remember making those rings on the table, yet Ravenna says that they're all from him. So again, are there multiple Mobiuses? Like he's definitely a clone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Loki, like he even went in on it. Like episode, he's like, so the timekeepers made everything, right? And they made you, right? And then they kind of had this big discussion about who made what, not dwelling on it. But again, I think they're just telling us basically that Mobius is a clone.
Actually, maybe he's just not a clone. That's just him and just a different point in time.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, yeah, it could be, but man, I get clone vibes all over the place. Mobius says he learned that this Loki likes to stall for time, so the one they're tracking probably does too. And again, why was that Loki stalling? Like, I mean, was he really trying to help her, or was he just trying to stall for his own time to look for an escape? Or I think he was stalling because he wanted to see what would really happen if that branch actually reached the red line, because he's the god of mischief. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's an agent of chaos. He wants to see what's going to happen. They say, oh, you can't do this. He's going to instantly want to see what happens if you do it. That's what I think he was stalling for.
Or he was hoping that if it was like about to like even like pass that red, will the timekeepers like appear or something?
That could be. I was thinking each other. So Ravona says on this timeline, and Loki is an evil, lying Scrooge, and he's not allowed to change that unless the timekeepers decree it. I was like, wait a minute, like, so if someone wants to become a better person, that could be a Nexus event. Like the timekeepers are sounding more ridiculous by the Miss Minute to me.
Like imagine Adolf Hitler wanted like when he's a kid is trying to become good or before he was about to do the whole Holocaust thing. So maybe I shouldn't do it. Timekeepers have been like, nope.
Yeah, no, on our timeline, you're evil and you have to keep being evil. Like that makes zero sense. Like the more I hear about it, the more ridiculous it sounds.
But this is what I got from that scene though. My question is this. If they pretty much deem all this stuff, why did they deem WandaVision? Like, isn't that like a whole Nexus event, one after the other? Or they wanted that to happen
No, what's that now?
with the whole one division. Like, isn't she like pretty much like stopping reality and also the crap demon things the way how she wants it? So is that like part of the timekeepers plan or is it not?
Or is she just she's a Nexus being and they know that they can't touch her because she's too powerful?
Chaos magic.
Chaos magic. Or they know like maybe they're just as powerful, like they're equal powers, and yeah, it would just go into chaos and there'd be too many time branch too many different branches would jump off because of that. So yeah, they might not want they don't want none of that Wanda smoke. Wanda let them know exactly what's up. I don't like time travel. I don't like masks. They make you look like other people, and I don't like clones. MCU is going down some bad roads. Oh, it's like Doctor Strange. He sees the end game. The butterfly effect can make things way worse. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing is setting up the mad multiverse, the multiverse of madness. I think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to clear anything up. I think it's going to go nuts by the end of this, and that's what's going to shoot off into the Doctor Strange movie. What you know about it?
That is true. They even said that. Didn't they say it was multiverse of madness? What happened if the whole like red branches would breach on that crap?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of hit it on the nose. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen at the end of this. I don't think they're going to tie anything up. I think it's going to be nuts and out of control, and that's going to spawn into Spider-Man and the Doctor Strange.
Bring it. But Spider-Man's first before Doctor Strange. Unless well, whole MCU, you never know like what really comes first. Really, don't go by release dates.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter which one comes first because it looks like Spider-Man's going to be all about the multiverse as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Bring me Tobey Maguire, damn it.
Oh, it's coming. It's already coming. Screw Toby. I don't want to see no Toby.
Oh, how dare you, man. Spider-Man 2 for life.
He was a punk at them pop card games, from what I understand. Screw him. He was an asshole. Screw Toby. That's awesome. When Mobius says maybe he's tired of playing the same part, maybe he wants to mix it up, wasn't he really just talking about himself at that point?
Repeat that?
When he was talking about Loki and she was like, he can't change, and Mobius is like, maybe he's tired of playing the same part. Maybe he wants to mix it up. Like, wasn't he just really talking about himself at that point? Tired of playing the same part and want to mix things up?
Both. Because pretty much Loki does kind of like change though. He does redeem himself. He stopped playing, stop stabbing Thor in the back. He actually remained and also the crap. So it's like, doesn't it contradict what they just said? Like the Loki doesn't change?
Yeah, exactly. A little 2-for-1. Well, she said that. He's trying to say maybe he does want to change. So yeah, it's getting a little 2-for-1 meaning there. And we hear that Mobius has never met the timekeepers like we were talking about. Like, it seems like if he's the head agent, I mean, that's a little weird that he's never met the timekeepers. It doesn't really add up. I'm back to, like I said, it's really giving me the Wizard of Oz vibes with Ravonna being like the one behind the mask.
True.
It was fun seeing like the back and forth of Loki saying like he's playing a game on Mobius and that he's 10 steps ahead, and then Mobius basically breaks down his entire plan in like 2 seconds. He's like, oh, a double cross from history's most reliable liar. Like, but again, I don't think of Loki as being a big liar. I think he gets more pleasure from tweaking the truth to suit his needs. But I was loving that back and forth.
But we do agree he wants to take over the TVA though.
Oh, of course. He wants to take over everything. I mean, he's an agent of chaos. He's always going to be into something. But speaking of truth, when Loki asks like why he's sticking his neck out for him, and he says, I'll give you 2 options and you can pick whichever one you like, I think both options were true. Like, I think he does feel sorry for the little ice runt, and he just wants to catch this guy. And I'll tell you whatever I need to tell you. Like, I think both those things were true.
Factamundo.
Absolutely. And Mobius says, like, this is your last chance. And I like how he ended it with, like, here's a neat trick. Act like your life depends on it. I was like, sounds like Mobius is done playing games.
Of course. It's like how many of his own people are going to be dying left and right? Reset things, keep on getting stolen. Someone's got kidnapped.
Yeah, he's had enough. Celebrity Bikini is just in a bothered mood. He's like, multiverse bothers me too. Oh, it's going to be out of control. It's going to be complete chaos.
I agree with them because at any point in time they can bring back the actor who played Robert Downey Jr., bring back Kevin, well, not Kevin, excuse me, Chris Evans. Which then again, he really never died on screen, so I can be okay with it. But if they bring back Rob Downey Jr. and be like, oh, he's from a different universe, so he's not really ours that died, I'll be pissed the f off.
He said, I'm a
Like, keep him dead, keep him away from my TV screen.
Oh man. All files to the beginning of the TVA and the beginning of time and the end of time are all classified. So what is it they're trying to hide?
The fact that the timekeepers don't really exist. The whole TVA thing, trying to keep the timeline intact, that could be true. But the whole notion of the timekeepers, that's bull. Completely bull.
Speaking of bull,
But I do, before we move on, I do question like what did that agent keep saying like it's real. I was hoping she was gonna say something like it's not real, which is confusing
it's
me.
real, it's real, it's real. And you want to know what she was talking about, like what's real? Yeah.
I was hoping she was saying it's not real. So just like proves the fact that the timekeepers and stuff like it doesn't really exist and crap. No, for her saying it's real, it's like what on earth?
Well,
I don't think
if she would have said it's not real, then I mean that could have had too many different meanings. What's not real? Like she could have been whatever she's seeing. She could be trying to talk herself out of it. It's not real. It's not real. It's just an illusion. I mean, there's too many ways it could have went with that. It's not real.
Nah, I like mine better.
How sad was that when Loki read the entire civilization of Asgard had been annihilated? But then when he was like talking to Mobius, he was like, yeah, sad. So, I mean, like, did he really not care and he just masking his emotions or what was up with that?
I think like after a point in time in the TVA, you just become numb to everything. It's like at first time seeing something, it's like okay, a civilization has died, but it's like you've seen so many civilizations die, so much time resets, and also the catastrophes. It's like you just become numb.
Man, but Loki hasn't been there that long, and to find out like his home planet has absolutely been disintegrated, it seems like it would have a little more of an effect on you than that.
I'm telling you, I love the actor playing Loki. Like he's really bringing on his acting skills.
Oh man, that was crazy.
And he pretty much already saw that scene. Not the destruction of Asgard, but at least his people dying from Thanos.
Wow. Oh, because of that, yeah, because of that scene, yeah, or at least him dying. So it's like once he's dead, what does he care about anybody else? But
True.
that was so sweet. Like when Loki went Loki and like totally ruined Mobius's lunch. Like that metaphor made absolutely no sense. Like he just cannot help but to mess with Mobius. Like I don't know. He was so sad. Like no, it's not Asgard. I want that salad.
Man, salads are trash. He did a good thing, man. Get a burger, a lobster, something, man. Rabbits are for salads for rabbits.
Yeah, you can go anywhere and any time and any place basically in the galaxy and you come home with a salad. It's like what? But yeah, I was I don't know that Loki was playing too much with my food. I'd be like, no, it's not Asgard. I wanted that salad. I was crying. How ridiculous was it for Loki to say, like, I'd never stab you in the back? And, like, it's such a boring form of betrayal. And Mobius is like, I've studied you. You've literally stabbed, like, 50 people in the back. Like, it looks like, well, Loki's like, I'd never do it again. Like, who's going to believe this guy?
Only himself.
Like, who does he think he's lying to at that point? I mean, he just went over to like, well, I'd never do it again. Like that's like, oh, okay. Well, since you said that now, like, I was like,
I love that scene. It's my favorite scene in the episode, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And it was funny when they went to test Loki's theory, and Mobius says, "Let's start with some small disturbances. Can you make bird noises?" And Loki's like, "It's time to go ham." I was like, can you make bird noises? I was like, stop it. But Loki seems pretty proud of like this new jacket that he gets to sport. Like he never leaves it. He even wears it into the lunchroom. Like B-15 said it was to remind everyone in the field of who and what he is, kind of like a convict. And now I feel like that was for us. Like he's wearing that to remind us. So basically, when he's killed off at the end of this, we remember that he's just a variant, not the real, and that the real Loki's still out there.
At one point, I was like, was the woman Loki before like, even that reveal was gonna like steal his jacket or something? Then it's like we'll never know like who's like the true variant, whatever that they was going after.
Oh, to keep going back and forth before we knew that it was a woman.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, do you think if Mobius is a clone, do you think we've only seen one Mobius throughout the first 2 episodes, or have we already seen multiple Mobius?
Or the agents that kept dying were all Mobius. Because then they said it was like 6 or like 5 before that cathedral. Maybe this whole time it was just all just Mobiuses. They kept dying.
That's true. Maybe, I mean, we didn't exactly see who was down, so yeah, there could have been Mobiuses out there getting tracked down. That absolutely could be. I like that. Find out that it's him getting slayed all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why does Mobius know so much about like jet skis other than other analysts didn't even know? Why does Mobius know so much about jet skis while that other analyst didn't even know what a fish was?
They did touch upon that. Maybe Disney's trying to do some jet ski thing promoting. Next thing you know, I'm gonna see get your jet skis.
Buy your new Disney skis. Oh, I can see it. If they are all clones, are they all clones like of people that have been like reset or erased? Like I was saying before, are these people that like came through and were variants and got erased, and now those are the clones that work there? Like I was saying earlier, like was Mobius a jet skiing variant that got erased and brought back as Super Agent Clone #1? Like we'll know. Basically, from my theory, we'll be proved right if we see that Goldman and Sachs daddy's boy that got erased. If we see him later at a desk, we'll know what's up.
Or they're all just hosts.
Everybody's a host. I think that's why it just seemed kind of out of left field. Like it was kind of funny to see that guy get erased and then Loki like, oh, my ticket's right here. Like it got Loki in step. But I think they might take it one further. And I think we're going to see that Golden and Sachs as an agent later. I think we're going to see him as one of the agents.
Interesting.
They were having some deep convos in that lunchroom. Like Loki said, he knows what children don't. That no one who's good is ever truly good, and no one that's bad is ever truly bad. Like that sounds like our man Loki's truly living in the gray area.
Yep. And that is kind of true. It's like Cersei Lannister. She wasn't truly bad, like people said. There was some good in her.
Oh man, just like Zombie Mountain, he wasn't truly bad. I mean, he was Cersei. He did Cersei's bidding and kept her safe. Nobody's truly bad. Oh, it's amazing. Well, looking for the disaster the Loki was hiding in, Mobius seemed to be having a bit of an awakening, and like cyclone, famine, volcanoes, floods, like it's just one thing after another. It almost seems like he's starting to realize that maybe the timekeeper's way is not the best way.
And never was. Again, they're pretty much just playing God at this point, saying like, "Oh," and they're just still weaving to that proper end. But I never understood that scene though, because they said that they're just constantly weaving time until they reach their epilogue. But it's like, at what any point in time, someone can still like create a Nexus event and
And
destroy that epilogue.
well, he's saying at the end, then it'll be peace and nobody will do it. All the branches will be clipped. So it's like, what, you'll just have killed enough people and scared enough people to stay on their lines that now there's just perfect harmony. And I'm like, you already know Loki's like, that's boring. So, and that's true. Like, nobody would want that. Like, nobody wants to live that way. You have to have free will to have true happiness.
Exactly.
But Loki finds where the variant is hiding, and Mobius says, you're going to take my job if I'm not careful. Is there any way that actually happens?
It could be that other analyst. This whole time could be that Loki.
Mobius either dies or they let him free to go back to riding jet skis, and now Loki's going to be the new Mobius.
Could be. And that's the person who gives her that pen.
Oh, that'd be sick. Trying to get to the new mission approved, and Ravona's hesitant. Mobius tells how Loki just uncovered a huge hole in their security, and Ravona's like, yeah, that's what worries me. Like, shouldn't Mobius been a little more worried about that as well? Like, is he really starting to trust Loki?
At this rate, he would just pretty much do anything just to get that woman Loki. So
He's
it's
ready to
like,
just anything.
mm-hmm. But it's interesting how no one ever thought of that. That one thing that could be like the kink in their system. And that
Exactly.
could be the way that he actually rides that jet ski. Just go to a point in that year, that a catastrophe that just won't cause an excess event.
Yeah, if there's like a big tsunami or a hurricane that comes in and wipes out the whole little beach town, then it was not going to matter if anybody sees him out there on that jet ski. Absolutely, that's probably what's going to happen. You worked it out. You already called that. Oh, it's need to know, and the most dangerous variant doesn't need to know. Maybe one of Loki's illusions is a different timeline than Loki. I like it. I agree. Fandom numbness sets in after all has been through, so he thinks maybe that is about all the deaths, and that's why it was like that. I think he was just trying to hide his feelings, and that Asgard thing really did kind of bug him. I can make a good salad, but it's not real healthy. I love salads. I eat one almost every day. Oh, Mobius might be a variant. Yeah, I'm thinking he might be. I mean, that's why he's so into these jet skis, because he misses it. And you would. I mean, if you rode jet skis all your life and then didn't get to ride them anymore, that'd be horrible. Ravona says if this mission doesn't work out, there's nothing I can do. So if Mobius fails, is he going to be deleted?
Seems like it.
That's kind of a ruthless thing. Like, oh, you didn't do your job right, you gone. Like, how ruthless is this TVA?
Because he's pretty much like breaking some of the rules just by like dealing with this Loki variant.
So that's how they're gonna punish him for breaking those rules, basically. Just delete him.
Mhm.
Man, that's ruthless. He says for all time, and she replies always. Like, where did they come up with that little TVA slogan?
What's the slogan?
Once one person will say for all time, and the other person will reply always.
Hmm.
You didn't notice
Not
that?
memorable. Nope.
Yeah, that's their little slogan for the TVA. One person says it, and the other person says that. I'm like, wonder where that came up, or if that's going to mean something later. How sweet was that when Mobius gave Loki his daggers, like just to have like it timed perfect with B-15 coming through to take him back? Absolutely not. That's so sweet and on stride. I love that.
I think it was at that moment Funko was like, okay, we gotta make a Funko of her. And they
Oh,
have.
she is so Roz from Night Court. I love it. It's fantastic. When they got inside the store, Loki used magic to like look dried off. B-15 was tripping. Like, since his magic works outside the TVA, wouldn't it stand that the Infinity Stones would also work outside the TVA? So, like, I'm telling you, when he was trying to escape before and he was bouncing back and forth through that thing, if he would have zapped back to the desert where they first got him, I think the Tesseract would have worked.
Hmm.
I
But I
think
thought they kind of work. I'm not sure if they even like confirmed it on the show or not. But I think I read an article that said that outside their respective timeline, it doesn't work. So
hmm.
it's like they just go back. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm just gonna go with outside TVA works.
Clever Bikini thinks she meant Loki is going to be deleted. I don't know. She sure made it sound like it was going to be Mobius that wasn't going to be able to help. But yeah, it could be. Maybe I read that one wrong. But I don't know. It seemed like the Tesseract was all glowing and doing its thing when they were out in the desert. And then when they walked through the door and came like into the TVA, it seemed like the Tesseract like lost its glow a little bit. So I was like, that just kind of makes me that with everything else, and the fact that Loki's magic didn't work inside the TVA, but it does work out here.
Actually, it wouldn't work anymore outside because if they reset the timeline and then Avengers happened the way it should, there would have been another Tesseract. So it pretty much would have been two. Like I guess one would work, one wouldn't.
So it's basically just a paperweight now.
Yep.
Ruthless. Maybe some of the non-violent variants get a chance to work there instead of the other less desirable option. Maybe. There you go. I almost think they all get deleted and then remade as obeying clones.
Actually, I think not all gets deleted because then it'll go back to what Mobius said in the first episode to B-15. Like, the only thing you want to do is like delete people. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
that was at one point, but then they start like saving people, and she's like, "No, we should stop turning them into agents."
Yeah, we got enough agents. Maybe that's it. It doesn't seem like it, though. They're all getting killed. Endgame proved that was wrong. All of those stones were from different timelines. Ooh, I like that. So they went and grabbed all those Infinity Stones from different timelines. So why did those work? I love that celebrity bikini. That is a great, great, great point. They grabbed every one of those from a different timeline. So why did those work? Oh, I love that point. We're gonna have to dive into that one on the next one because that makes no sense now.
So now I'm okay. So on that note, then pretty much they only work. They work outside of TVA, but inside TVA, they're paperweight.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I think they're lying. Like they've been told that, but I think outside they absolutely will work. Like I said, that thing was still glowing in the desert, and that was kind of outside its timeline. So I mean, that would have been a second one already, and it was still glowing good and strong in the desert. It wasn't
Well, it
until
should be glowing in the desert because that was a Tesseract in that timeline, so it should be glowing in
before
the
it got
desert.
reset.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. That makes no sense. But like I said, it was still glowing out there. I mean, maybe it reset and they walked through, or it hadn't reset yet. But and maybe that's it. Maybe the reset was finished right when they walked through the door, and that's why it stopped glowing right then. I don't know. That's pretty convenient timing, though. But I almost feel like they're lying because that was another thing that kind of bugs me about the last episode is the way that Mobius asked Loki's like, "Did you try to use it?" And Loki was like, "Many, many times." But why would he care if he tried to use it if it's just a paperweight? Like it makes me think that it's not. There's actually a way to use it.
I think it was just in denial until the moment where he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't work,"
And
or he tried using it before realizing. Wait, did he get the stone before? No. Yeah, that's confusing.
then if you look at like those reset charges, it looks like Infinity Stone colors. Like when it's all going through and erasing everything, it sure looks like Infinity Stone colors. So is that the real reason that they're collecting all these Infinity Stones? They drain their power and make those reset charges out of them?
No, I
Just
don't
like
think so. You're
just
reaching.
like Thanos snapping realities, those guys are basically snapping reset charges. I mean, and it takes the Infinity Stones to do it because it sure looks like the Infinity Stone colors to me when it's all going out there. I guess in that timeline, all the stones were destroyed, so no duplicates. Could be. So Mobius said Loki with me, and B-15 is like, no, this is my mission, and Loki's like with me, or so why did she want those? Why didn't she want those two to be paired up? Like, was she afraid Loki might try to kill him, and like he's too important to lose, or why was she so worried about those two being paired up?
Because Mobius seems to be like more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Trusting,
Yeah, of
gullible.
Loki.
He's a little too gullible around Loki.
Mm-hmm.
That could be. That was a sick little jab Mobius got in, though. Like, try to hang on to your time collar this time. I was like, oh, that was a nice little slap. Like, you take my man here, take this with you, too. Oh, I like that little jab. That was a good one. But Loki and B-15 come across a man who says that he's shopping a hurricane sale. And should B-15 have been a little more cautious when approaching what was probably the variant? Like, she just walked right up to him and got taken over.
Yup. I'm like seriously supposed to be like one of the next top agents or so of the hunters, and next thing you know, easily got the drop on.
Like, just walked right into it. Like, was nothing. Just walked like a little kid. Like, just did not knowing nothing. I was like, come
Like
on.
who on earth will be buying plans in a time of a tsunami? Like come on, a hurricane. Like come on, don't do that. It's dumb. That
Exactly.
was 100% red flags.
Of course. So I was just like, that made no sense to me. That made absolutely no sense to me. I was tripping. So yeah, I was like, she should have been smarter than that. I thought that was a little weak. And of course, when Loki meets himself, they both think that they're the superior one. And Loki tries to recruit Randy Loki, but again, they both feel superior. So I don't see either working for the other. Like, why didn't Randy want, again, why didn't Randy want to be called Loki? She's like, don't call me that. She's like, you can call me Randy. I was like, what? Why?
Telling you, it's all about that free will.
You think that's just her showing her free will? Okay. Well, Randy declined Loki's offer, saying he wasn't interested in ruling the TVA. So, what is that variance master plan, do you think?
That is a good question because that's what I assumed. Just take over the TVA, but doesn't seem like it. Trying
Nope.
like to kill the timekeepers.
Maybe
If
that.
so, why couldn't you just team up with Loki and you could still kill the timekeepers, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because yeah, if that's all she wants to do is destroy their timeline, and it seems like she's already doing that, maybe she figures like I got it, I don't need your help. But yeah, she doesn't want to run it. I think she just wants to implode it. She wants it to go back to chaos because Loki's are agents of chaos.
And I'm surprised this happened on the second episode. Like I thought they were gonna drag the whole part of her plan, at least blowing up the timelines, would at least be episode 4, maybe 5, and the whole reveal was probably gonna be episode 5. But nope, second episode they're like, this is who this person is. Well, quote unquote. Still don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. We got to figure some things out. But Loki asked, like, what do you want from me? And then he started hearing that echoed, like, can our Loki read female Loki's thoughts? Like, he's like, and again, we find out that it's actually a female Loki. That's not a Loki, but that was. Did that blow you away at all? That the fact that it was female?
Yep, because I just thought it was just simply just another Loki that looks like the variants that we saw like in previous scenes or something, maybe like a scarred up face or whatever. But then it's trying to be a woman Loki. I'm like, all right,
And do you think our Loki can actually read the thoughts of that Loki? Because like
I don't know
he
because
heard
that
the
whole
echo.
scene, yeah, exactly, that whole echo thing is like it's puzzling me, and I don't even think the subtitles even caught on to it.
That was kind of a trip. And just like Doctor Strange, female Loki says, "This isn't about you." So, do we have any idea what it is about? Like I said, I think it's all about getting the love of Ravenna back. But what do you think it is?
After this whole stream, I'm thinking so. It's all about love.
She did it all for love. And just then we get a taste of what it's all about. Like, it's about bombarding the sacred timeline. And she sets off so many Nexus events that it's seemingly clearing out the TVA of all its hunters. So basically, is she going to use this as a cover to jump back into the TVA and look for the timekeepers?
It could be because this is like the biggest distraction right here. Multiple timelines, Nexus events happening. Like the red, it's gonna like breach the red branch. So she really wants that Nexus event to happen.
And Agent C20 basically said she told him where the timekeepers are. So if she told him where they are and she's basically clearing them all out, it kind of seems like she's just making it easy to get in there, sneak in. And I, again, think she's just sneaking in to go see Ravonna because she wants to go see the love of her life. But she might be going in to try to see if the timekeepers are real and deal with that situation.
That too.
But
Unless she does know that they exist. I don't know. Actually, no, I'm taking that back because they don't exist.
She said, "You don't think so? It's gonna be. You don't think it's gonna be a Lady Loki versus Kang situation?"
That could possibly be it.
So the alarm makes Ravenna get up and grab her eraser stick. And what happens if Randy kills her? Like, is she a clone with many duplicates backing her up as well?
Ravonna?
Yeah, Ravonna got up and grabbed her stick and went out there. It's like she knows what's about to happen. So what happens if Lady Loki does go there and kills her? Is there a backup of her? Is she a clone too? Or what would happen in that situation?
Well, if you're doing clones, they got a backup clone.
You think there's any other thing it could be, or what they would do, or would they just be screwed, or would they just put somebody else in her spot and just basically like hire up?
I can see Mobius
getting put in her spot.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Maybe he'd finally meet the timekeepers. Or will Ravonna be a total badass and stop female Loki cold? Like, you think she'll end up stopping female Loki?
It could be possible. But I'm not seeing it happening right now.
So female Loki,
I'm not sure if they even like mention like if she's even that good of an agent.
She's running everything, so she's got to know something about something.
I mean, she could just been placed there.
That's true. So yeah, if they set it up that way, that's true. But female Loki opens a portal and waves goodbye. And did she leave that door open like just long enough for Loki to follow, or was that just how long those doors take to close and he made it through before it did close?
Wait, what's the question?
Female Loki, when she opened that portal door and bounced out, she like waved goodbye. Did she leave that door open on purpose long enough for Loki to follow her, or is that just how long those doors take to close and Loki was able to sneak through before it did close?
Yeah, she left it open.
She left it open for him. She wanted him to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that is he going to follow her and they're going to end up talking, or do you think she's setting a trap and she's going to like go into this door, have him go into that door, and she's already going to be out another door, and he's going to be trapped in some dimension and need Mobius to come save him?
That is a whole bunch of doors, DJ. But
Let's
I
make
think
a deal.
it's a trap. I think it's a trap.
You think it's a trap? So he's going to
Mm,
follow her in there, and she's already going to be gone, and he's going to be trapped in a space and need to be saved.
yep.
I kind of think that might happen too. I don't know. I mean,
It seems like she's like more knowledgeable of the whole time variant technology to the point that she probably could have just went somewhere else and could have just like led Loki some to another like timeline or whatever.
oh, of course, yeah. She knows enough to do what she's doing, and he's still green. He's still learning on the fly. Like, he's smart and he's picking it up quick, and he knows absolutely nothing. So he's still learning as he goes. But yeah, I think actually, like, I think he's going to go through. I think they're going to talk, and then he's going to like try to end up manipulating her, and she's going to see it coming, and she's going to laugh at him, going, "I am you. You don't think I saw that coming?" And she's going to bounce out and leave him trapped there. I think is what's going to happen.
But they already had that conversation though.
Kinda, but it was in a quickness, and the time bombs were going off, and the timers were running low, and she had to bounce. So, yeah, I don't think they had enough time. I think they're going to have a little deeper conversation about things.
If they have a conversation about things, they should freaking show. She should show Loki what he showed that Agent 20, like what she meant by it's real. It's real.
Yeah, I'm sure that might come up. Absolutely.
It has to be something that we haven't seen yet, because I don't know, like at what point it's like something that's real.
Right. Absolutely. How come? Why does Lady Loki's crown have a broken horn? And do you think like OG Loki is he the one who will end up breaking it later, which has actually already happened because time works different here?
I know it's not to the comics because someone posted like I forgot where I probably saw on TikTok or something like there was like a broken crown. So it's like kind of like a nod, I think. But they could expand it in some shape or form within the story.
I think it's one of Loki's illusions. Once Loki traveled in time, it became its own being. Loki mentioned a duplicate. It's different from a normal illusion. I think that was what that scene was for. Huh. In the credits, it shows people being cut in half by those doors closing. So yeah, now that would be interesting. They do show that, like, kind of one person coming through. Is that how they split variants, or is that actually them being cut in half? Is that different? Yeah, what's happening with that? Because that is a thing. It kind of looks like people are being cut in half by those doors. Like, is that just because some doors closed before somebody made it through, or is that because your soul changes when you go into this different time space of the TVA?
I have yet to look at the credits.
Oh, you haven't
When it
followed
comes
through?
on, I'm just like cut it off. That and I always skip to the end to see if there's any after credit.
So yeah, I want to know what happened to Lady Loki's crown and why it's got a broken horn. I think that's messed up. But I could totally see it happening later because time works different, and it's actually Loki who makes that crown later. I think that'd be a trip. But Mobius comes running saying, "Loki, wait!" But just before he gets there, Loki walks through the still open door. And do you think Randy? So do you think Randy Loki will trick and trap our Loki in some other timeline, or are they going to have a little conversation first? What's the end all on that?
I say the conversation happens like episode 5, and we're just gonna ponder as to like what's going on.
I think they're going to go in there and talk and be in like some little time space, talk about it, and she's going to end up trapping him there, and Mobius is going to have to come save him. That's what I think is going to happen. So Mobius already said they can easily catch Loki. Why can they easily catch this Loki and not the one that they're chasing, Lady Loki?
Because Lady Loki is the most...
She's the superior?
Yep. No other way of saying it.
Oh, man, I got to say, this episode really excited me and has got me totally juiced for the next one, man. I was loving this one so much more than the first one. But you just weren't feeling it. How you feeling about it after talking about it a little bit?
Still the same. It's like a 7 out of 10. It's good, but not as good as that first high on the first episode, DJ. Not as good.
Oh, man, yeah. Like I said, the first one, I was just kind of waiting, and then, yeah, I love the follow-up. The follow-up was whatever. However it works, I say Loki saves the day by the finale. I think it's going to go into chaos. I don't know if any day is going to be saved in the finale of this. I mean, Loki's our hero. He's like the main character, and Loki's an agent of chaos. So the god of mischief is going to create some, and I think it's just going to be a mad mess by the end of it. And I think in that mad mess, the happy ending will be Mobius driving off in the sunset on a jet ski.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. Is the female Loki, is she really the superior, or is she just have more knowledge because she's been doing this longer? It seems like our Loki's catching up pretty quick.
Well, for as this moment, she is like the superior variant
Like
because they have yet to like defeat her yet.
I mean, she's the superior because she's got more info on how this timeline works. But it seems like once Loki gets it, he'll get there. But I guess we'll figure all that out in the next one. It has been absolutely amazing. And like I said, I am absolutely pumped to see where it takes us from here. I mean, only 6 episodes. They have so much to get in so fast. It is going to be awesome. Who fixes the mess? Doctor Strange. Absolutely. I think that's how they're going to keep it. So I want to thank everybody for coming out with us again. Been an absolute blast, and we'll be back here next Saturday talking about episode 3. So I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next time. Be easy, everybody, and we'll see you on Tuesday.